how do men that are in the officially or unofficially MGTOW movement evolve and do the things that they need to do to take the next step? You know, it's one thing to be aware of the problem and to realize that some of us need to go our own way, even go all the way off the grid. Where I come to you now from my tiny home, my 10 by 12 and my 1 acre. That was where I took going my own way to the next level, stepping back from an actual dense population center to where the prettiest ass is worshipped like an actual statue made of granite. And so there's a number of reasons why I personally have gone off the grid, have gone my own way. And it doesn't mean that when we go in our own way, we become homosexual or that we become, some people do become addicted to other vices. I would recommend against that. Unhealthy obsessions with sexuality, just because we've stepped back from chasing women and going to the next level in our own spiritual evolution as a soul that happens to be in a male form. That's the level in which I take it. And I'm going to be coming back to that. Before we do, I want to feature a video from another gentleman on YouTube. I believe his name is Elliot. I found his channel accidentally just looking for motivational material. Found his speaking style to be clear, direct, and to the point. Apparently a lot of other people like it as well. Not sure how many subscribers he has, but I get the sense it's up there. And he has a video, by the way, it seems to be a promo for his on-demand channel, as I've been saying before, because of what YouTube's been doing and the censorship, including MGTOW content. All my videos have been demonetized that have been discussing mindful relationships or MGTOW. Those have been demonetized. So for me to go even deeper into some of my experiences, providing details, I would even say some that are, you could label sexually explicit, although it's not going to read like something out of Penthouse Letters. But something where poltergeist and maybe that meet. But there's some things that part of me feels like sharing with you, and I don't really see how that's appropriate for YouTube and for elements of the male and female audiences that aren't on the level of that type of openness. With hearing how it really is, especially when you're out there in relationships and you're out there trying to help people. I'll tell you what, there are people that will come upon your path, shake their ass to distract you from what you were born to do. Just shaking that ass, shaking that ass. Show me what you're working with. Show me who you're working for. And it's like it's agents of the Matrix. So without further ado, let's check out this video from Elliot, and then we'll come back.
What do you think about the MGTOW movement, or men going their own way? Seems like an interesting topic and one that's gaining a lot of popularity. What do you think, Elliot, as a married man, about men leaving women behind and going our own way?
Yo, Elliot!
Well, my friend, thank you for that question. And I got to tell you, man, you opened up a can of worms, because I never heard of MGTOW until just a few days ago when I read your question, bro. And I have found a new vein of gold, bro. It's amazing. I didn't realize that what was happening in the world is so prevalent in what's happening in my own soul, and that has everything to do with men going our own way, bro. So yes, I'm about the men going their own way movement. I support it. I say yes to it. I'm about it. I'm facilitating it. That's what Grounding Man is all about this weekend. There will be a bunch of men going our own way. And in this video, I want to answer your question about how I feel, which you already know. You get my thumbs up. MGTOW, let's go. But I want to go a little bit further, because from what I've continued to read and investigate with regard to MGTOW, watching other people's YouTube videos, I found that you guys are just not extreme enough. You're not going far enough, MGTOW. Yes, I agree. Men must go our own way. We must separate from the world of women and government. That's what the whole red pill thing that I'm discovering is all about too. You guys don't realize that I kind of live under a rock. I don't watch or consume too much media. But I thank you when you share these wonderful new things, happenings with me. And MGTOW's got me juiced up. Now, Men going their own way is not actually a new thing. I want to kind of make that clear. It's a remembering. We're coming back. And that's a lot of what's happening in the world right now. It looks like things are breaking down, but really what's happening is we're coming full circle. We're ending one chapter and we're beginning a brand new one. And when you start a brand new chapter, the things that you started with, men going their own way, start to come back.
So this motivational speaker who's trying to empower his audience is tackling MGTOW, and from the body language and the tone and the demeanor and what you can find out about his beliefs from his other videos, what do you think he's going to say in his on-demand channel about going to the next level and no longer being a victim? How are you going to take that red pill and go all the way? Okay, so you're going to stop chasing women because you're not getting the desired results. You're ending up against elements of the zombie apocalypse. Is the answer to sit there angry? To blame an entire gender? I've seen people argue with me. The angriest folks that I've come across haven't been women since making MGTOW videos. Do you know who they've been? They've been men into MGTOW content. Those are the ones that have actually turned into trolls, not the women. And this is something to meditate on. And it's like, there are even videos by a few people that got angry when I went off the grid, and they made a video to say, Alex, you can't do that. It's impossible. Alex MGTOW off the grid. And I'm just sitting there like, whoa, this is going to be fantastic to look at in 5 years and in 10 years and to talk about with the audience. And so a lot of people, and yes, because they haven't chose to become more spiritual, to become a true warrior, they are angrier at other men and women. And then they have the psyops. Some of them don't believe in social engineering. I've had hundreds of comments say I'm discredited because I talk about how we are being socially engineered. Alex, I like MGTOW, but the tick that you're taking into this is not MGTOW. I'm outside the box. That's why. But I will speak to MGTOW people and no one will tell me that I won't. See, the purpose behind that is because some men don't want me to wake other men up. Wake them up to the fact they're responsible for their own happiness now. One of the reasons I've always been a fan of self-discipline, and I've always been disappointed with the amount of self-discipline. I always think that I can do so much better than what I'm currently doing. Right now I'm trying to make some changes in my own life. But in order for me to do that, I step back and I don't go to strip clubs. I think pornography addiction is unhealthy. I think that discussing things like that and other things are very controversial on YouTube, and there's going to be a lot of different responses. I think that also people forget that we're not perfect, that we've learned from our mistakes. I've talked to you about being from a city, Portland, Oregon, that was all about the strip clubs and the porno stores and even the sex clubs, where people would pay a membership and gather and whatever happens, happens. These things aren't typical in your average rural community. So I actually left a city like that, not because of religiousness. I saw how just the energy was contaminated. And it's like, this is not normal. And I don't hate women. And I don't want the city to cause me to hate women or men. But these types of men and women that are running around fornicating, breeding like zombie rabbits, this is not an energetic sexual pool that I want to be a part of any longer. From the many people that I was sleeping with and the sense of, we're talking 2009, 10 and 11. We might as well also include 2008 and everything that was happening there that I'd rather not talk about on YouTube. But there is a part of me that's getting ready to open up for a half hour to you about specific things that happened. That's only going to be on demand. That's only going to be for my supporters. I mean, that's some personal information. That's stuff I would never share on Access TV. And seeing that I only have a few dozen supporters over at outsidethebox.vhx.tv, I feel that they're probably open to me sharing those things. People like Matt, people like BT, people like David. Mostly men, from what I understand. And not only viewers of the YouTube channel, but also subscribers at outsidethebox.vhx.tv. You see, and there's going to be women that are married and come and go, that have their comfortable lives, that will give me a thumbs up from across the country or whatnot. But when you actually physically walk in my shoes and you talk about a number of things and you're interested in waking people up, you're just not a typical dude. You get additional insight in the lack of compassion in a lot of women that are alive today. And I chalk it up to spiritual warfare and social engineering. It has nothing to do with their gender. Their gender happens to be targeted because if women were awake, the whole house of cards could come down. If their compassion was there and they were not fornicating with so many soldiers of fortune and death, if you will, if there was more support for men that were trying to do the right thing and other women saw women supporting good men, that's the big thing. That's probably one of the biggest of all. But when you look at the media and even the alternative media, I need to write down in my video idea notebook over there to come back to the alternative media and elements of it using sex to sell. Sex to sell is not just a mainstream media tactic. And why is that? Because all these men are looking at the boobie. Nothing wrong with the boobie, nothing wrong with that which breastfeeds thy child. Nothing wrong with certain desires as a mammalian female or male. I understand. I can look right into the lust of the female and the male and separate myself from that, but go, oh, damn. Oh, damn. That's in our base animal nature, just given whatever the heck it is we want to do and remove all the programming regarding religion and right and wrong. You just get down on it. Holy hellhound. Did someone wire us to be this way, or this just kind of like fell when we fell into this fallen world? It's just like some glass falling off the table. Smash. Whoops. Whoop, there it is. Whoops, there's society. And so here we are, right? We are this end result of a whole bunch of fornicating bodies, killing and fornicating on top of a giant mound of bodies, being born out of and being killed on top of. I know it's fairly graphic. If any of you feel like doing any art for me, maybe we might want to get together. I have all of these art ideas. My friend works full-time down in Texas, but I literally need an artist who's like cracked out literally on art like all the time. That'd be fun one of these days. But it is like we're being crucified. It's like I'm not trying to get a vision right now as I'm talking, but it is like we're being hung, and the vultures are waiting, and we are like, it's like witnessing a male and a female of our civilization fornicating, and the feminine or that female riding the male on top of a mound of dead bodies as they fornicate another human life to pick up a gun and continue that fornication and homicidal process. That's very out of balance. Okay, so I'm going to conclude here. A man shouldn't want to bed down with a woman that's still in the zombie apocalypse. He may find himself you may find yourself incredibly attracted to a woman at the market. And it's like, if you're a man also that has some sort of sense of energy or vibration, do you feel compassion there? I mean, maybe she's playing something on her cell phone, just very focused in that moment there. Is that sexy? You're turned on by that. Well, what does that say about you? What, just because she's wearing a pretty dress and she smells nice and she's cracked away at her cell phone, but yet you just can't stop thinking about getting behind that rear end and just going doggy style? How profound. How have I learned about these thoughts? I'm in a male form. I want to be more than my male form. I believe there's a soul trapped in my human body. I don't believe that I am my body. I don't believe that I am my true physical lust. I believe that beyond that, my soul is way more evolved than all the things that I think are limiting me while I'm in my body. That's why. And I believe that. That's not rhetoric. So even I could see myself like wanting someone that's a pretty body, which happens very rarely. But it happened more in a place. It's like a song from ZZ Top. I'm on a planet of women, driving me insane. Right? So for me, escape from Portland was so deeper, folks, than escaping, quote, homelessness. Or escaping a place without good jobs. Or a place with expensive rent. below the surface, there was something darker. I would call it the dark feminine. You know, the lack of nurturing. Sure, there's females, and there's alcohol, and there's porno stores, and there's sex clubs, and there's Craigslist, and there's people playing each other on their cell phones and getting STDs like never before. Oh yeah, after I left Portland by a year, there was an epidemic of syphilis. How ironic. And in case you didn't hear before, well, you heard it here first. But it's the idea of STDs and spiritual parasites, sexually transmitted, sexual piggybacking parasites, actually being related to each other. And so somebody may be down on themselves, depressed, saying people don't like them, people don't want them. They could be looking in the mirror going, I don't see an ugly guy there. I see someone that actually has a few looks and his health. There's a reason why those men are not attracting the women of today's day and age. Shouldn't feel guilty about it. We need to stop feeling guilty about it. When you look out and you see what's being supported, and you look out and you see the endless wars, and you see a lack of support of those against those wars, and a lack of protest at just this massive divide, and you can see women on the left and the right gravitating to aggravating argumentative situations in the streets. But on neither side of the left or right aisle do we see those men or women. Those women that are standing by their man. Stand by all his programming. And it's like we're still seeing that. We're waiting. The good men, we, the good men of the earth, are waiting to not see in the comment section, but in the real world, the women leave the dominators of today's day and age. The men that aren't doing anything for the world to make the world a better, greater place. The only paradigm that would ever shift anything on earth is the women choosing better men. That is like at the cornerstone of like the top 10 or the top 5 things that can change the world tomorrow. And it's the men that the women pick. There's a biological code that it almost seems that we're up against. We are in a matrix, and there are souls in male form and female form that in spirit may truly be equal. But yet we fall into this world of duality. We fall into this world of duality. And I'll get into another video how the media warps male-female relationships. So I'm not going to give you all this at once. I'm going to spread this out. It's very important, though, and I'm going to end this here, that men be responsible. That men remember they're responsible for your own health. You're responsible. If you want to be healthy, you're the one that needs to go to the gym. Having sex with some girl that your DNA is attracted to, so much as like we're in some petri dish where you'll even see like certain pairings of people from different parts of the world that are naturally attracted to each other because that's nature. And that's fine. And nature to procreate. And that's fine. There's also things that are like in nature, right, that are destructive. And I guess that's fine too. But not really. You see, because to me, just because war seems to be a part of our world, this natural world, this is a fallen world. And I believe that we got to be responsible for evolving beyond this world. I don't care whether people want to hear this or not. Deal with it. There ain't no accident for being a horny, biological, conscious member of this planet. And then you look around and you see what's going down. And we realize we need a critical mass of people to change things for the better. And we would never be able to do that unless we were to become conscious of the need to step back from certain old paradigm activities. What is the ultimate old paradigm activity of the old male? I don't mean like older, old paradigm male, Homo sapien, unevolved. Constantly chasing that ass. Constantly adapting his environment, his behavior to convince that woman to open up her legs so he can get that ass. Doing whatever it takes. Making whatever amount of money. Getting whatever type of home. Conforming whatever type of personality. I mean, I've literally seen countless boyfriends of certain girls, fans of mine is what I meant to say, afraid to let their girlfriend know if they listen to me. Countless. I mean, we're talking hundreds. Some men made the mistake of introducing their girlfriend to me, and they got to hear about it later. It's like constantly, and of course there's sometimes it would be the other way around, or it'd be like the female viewer of my content trying to show her boyfriend or trying to show her husband. That doesn't work either. I mean, a lot of women just don't understand men that are on the lower side or just average. Unless they're also on the same path of trying to awaken, they're not going to see value in what that man is doing, that their wife is watching. They won't, because they can't, because it's not in their wiring. It's not who their soul is. They happen to pick someone for safety or procreation purposes or nest building purposes, but that doesn't mean that that man actually even has it in him to see the light in another man if he doesn't even have the light within himself. And so there are seemingly a lot of quote-unquote empty vessels. We are a planet to where it is the ultimate melting pot of souls. I do believe that. Just like they call New York the Big Apple, melting pot of different cultures and different races. Well, planet Earth is a melting pot for very different souls with all different types of issues. And a lot of these souls are still trapped into this old paradigm world of tyranny and control, invasion, capture, using other people and places for their resources. They're basically hunter-gatherer-predator class soul humans, as opposed to other souls that don't believe in taking other people's energy, that don't believe in using force and violence. So there's literally a competition of the souls, and that's what I'm getting at. A man needs to rise above his own influences of his little head or his hard dick, and needs to understand that his desire for the world to be a better place should be greater than his desire to release his primal testosterone energy and continuing just like a sea of biological processes without even realizing that he's zombifying himself by doing so. I mean, there's so many men, countless men, that have never once grabbed a microphone that have these same stories about getting involved with the wrong women, the wrong wives, who they later say turned around and destroyed their life. And my question is to them, how was it that their life was all about ejaculating constantly into that woman and everything about that woman? And where were they on the playing field while Babylon was burning? So I'm just going to stop right there and let you know that I can go deeper into actual things that I've experienced, but that's not going to be for the public. That's not going to be for the delicate ears of the women of the YouTube audience. That's going to be for the men and women that support what it is that I do at outsidethebox.vhx.tv. Please become subscriber 25 at the moment that you see this video. I'd like to see some of you sign up. It's a way that you can give back, even if I'm not putting out massive content to that channel. It's a way that you could throw something back if you're not already signed up to Patreon or contributing via PayPal, because I love bringing you this content. But this content is targeted. It seems that it's not an accident that all of my MGTOW videos encouraging men to be stronger than their little head, all those videos were demonetized. Why is that? Till next time, I'm Alex Hansen, reminding you the path to the ultimate truth and place of power still lies within.